Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the First Friday podcast where we talk about faith, life, love, purpose, and everything in between. This month's episode is a little bit different because, as many of you probably already know, March 8th is International Women's Day. And the theme this year is powerful: give to gain, a call to forge gender equality through abundant giving. I have to tell you, when I first read that phrase, I paused because, as many of you who might know me, you know that giving is something that is very near and dear to my heart. But also, I had to pause because, if we're honest, women have always been giving. We give our time, we give our energy, we give our bodies to carry life. We give wisdom and ideas. We give emotional strength. As women, we give second chances. And most of us give even when we are tired. And somehow, we all still rise. So today, as we talk about the International Women's Day theme of Give to Gain, I don't want this episode to feel like pressure, like more pressure on women to give. I want it to feel like permission. Permission to reflect. Permission to honor your own strength. Permission to give wisely when you choose to give. And permission to live life victoriously, even when you're going through very hard seasons. You know, when people talk about women's achievements, we mention the big things, the CEOs, the founders, the presidents, the scientists, and the Olympians. And yes, women are leading nations. Women are launching companies, leading big conglomerates. Women are changing laws and running global brands. Women are winning awards and Nobel Prizes. But can I tell you something? Some of the most extraordinary achievements of women don't even make the headlines. We don't talk much about the single mother who's working 2 jobs and still showing up on parent-teacher night. We don't talk much about the caregiver who's holding a family together after loss, or the woman who's rebuilding her life, her confidence after betrayal. Nobody talks about the entrepreneur funding her dream quietly at midnight, studying, perfecting her craft way after everyone has gone to sleep. Or the student who's pushing to heights that no one in her family has gone before. Achievement isn't always loud. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's endurance. And sometimes it's just choosing not to quit. Sometimes achievement really simply looks like refusing to give up on yourself. Women have built economies, churches, communities, movements, often while still carrying invisible weight at the same time. And here's what's remarkable: women don't just survive. Women have this innate ability to transform pain into purpose. We talk about strong women as though it's effortless. Honestly, it's not. Being a woman comes with so many challenges. You could say this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. It still rings very true. There's cultural expectations, which vary from culture to culture, but there are expectations that are placed on women. There's biases, right? Cultural biases. And then there's societal pressures to do it all, to be everything all at once, right? Gotta be successful, gotta be nurturing, gotta be fit, gotta be patient. You gotta be ambitious, but not intimidating. And sometimes all of that, honestly, is just so exhausting. And yet, but despite all of that, women are still graduating from college and university at record levels. Women are starting businesses at record levels. They're leading households and managing finances in their homes more effectively than ever before. Women are building networks, they're building foundations, brands, and even movements. But it doesn't mean that it wasn't hard. And we're not going to pretend that in some places it didn't hurt. Women are able to do these things because many of them choose not to stay broken. You see, you can cry and still be strong. You can rest and still be driven. You can rebuild and still be victorious. Victory is not the absence of pain. Victory is the movement through it to the other side. So let's talk a little bit about this year's theme of International Women's Day. Give to gain. What does that mean for us? At first glance, it sounds transactional. Give to gain. But when you think about it, it's really not transactional. It's actually transformational. Because when people, organizations, and communities give generously, then opportunities and support for women actually increase. But let's bring it home a little bit. Let's bring it to ourselves as individuals, as women. What does give to gain mean for you? See, for me, it means not draining myself dry, right? So not giving until I have nothing left of me. Does not mean proving my worth by overextending myself to what I'm not capable of, or beyond my capacity. But what it does mean is that I have an understanding that generosity that is rooted in wisdom multiplies, right? Because when I give, I create opportunities. When I give, I expand access. When I give, I open doors for others, right? I multiply the capacity that others have or can achieve. Because we shift what's possible for the next generation with our giving. But here's the twist. Giving isn't just financial. We're so quick to think money when we hear the word give, but it's not always financial. So let's take a look at some of the ways that you can give to gain. Number 1. You can give encouragement. You will be shocked at the amount of women who are just one encouraging word away from not quitting. And maybe you have that encouraging word. You are the one who has that word that will help her not quit her dream. So what are you waiting for? Send that text. Make that phone call. Say that thing that you know is encouraging to that woman in your life. Number 2, give mentorship. So if you've walked through something, you're the most experienced at it. Reach back and help someone else walk through it. Equality accelerates when information flows. So when we know how to do something and we give that information to someone who's going through the same thing, we quickly bring each other to equality, right? So they're not struggling and lagging behind. Number 3, you can give opportunity. So if you're in a position to give opportunity to others, you can recommend her to somebody, to a job opening, to a business opportunity. You can share her business information with others. There's so many women who have small businesses. Do you talk about your friend's business to other people? Are you marketing for her? Open up your network. You can pull up a chair for her at your table. So in big or small ways, you have an opportunity, you have the ability to give someone else an opportunity. Give grace. I like this one a lot. That's number 4. Give grace. We as women, we carry so much invisible weight, but we don't give ourselves enough grace. As much grace as you give to others, give to yourself. And that's my next point. Number 5, give to yourself. This is the part we like to skip a lot, and probably one of the most important parts. Give yourself rest. Give yourself time to heal. If something broke you, give yourself time to just heal from it. Don't rush yourself. Give yourself space to grow. If you made a mistake, you were naive at something, don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself that space to grow and learn from it. Go to therapy if you need it. Give yourself that gift. Do some skill development. All right? AI is coming and overtaking us like left, right, and center. Learn it. Give yourself that opportunity to learn something. Financial literacy. Be very well versed in that area. Know about investing and building wealth. Give yourself that gift of that knowledge. And most importantly, spiritual discipline. Give yourself that gift of being disciplined in your walk with Christ. And I only make these recommendations to give yourself because when you are depleted, you cannot build a liberated world. Your world will not be free and liberated. And when we give wisely as women, not endlessly self-destructing, out of obligation, but intentionally and well thought out giving, the returns are exponential. And again, I'm not only talking about money. If you can give your time in an intentional, well thought out way, you can be more impactful and the results will be exponential. But then let's get real. How can we live victoriously and give even when the seasons that we find ourselves are challenging? So let's get real and a little bit practical, okay? Because victory is not a posture. Victory is not a feeling. It's actually a posture that we take. It's actually a decision that you go, I'm going to live a victorious life. And these are the steps I'm going to take. And I wanted to share with you today I think I have a summary of like 6 realistic steps to live victoriously. And a few of those are what have carried me through my own challenging seasons. And I hope that they are examples of something that you can use through your own challenging season. The first one that was very important for me and always becomes important in any circumstance I find myself in, is I have to define victory for myself. What does being victorious look like for me? Because what it looks like for me may not necessarily look like the same for you. If you let the world define what your success is or what it should look like, you would always feel like you're lagging behind, right? You'll always feel like you're behind. But you have to redefine what that winning, what that success looks like for you. So there's a few questions you can ask yourself, like, what does faithfulness look like for me in this season? What does health look like for me in this season? Because maybe what you need to define as healthy differs from the next person. What does progress look like for me? Maybe for you, it's just getting out of bed in the morning. And maybe for the next person, it's getting out of the house. So what does progress look like for me right now? And maybe, here's some suggestions in case you're struggling about how to define it. Maybe for this month, winning for you might be just not reacting to things the way you used to. Not getting triggered by all little things. Maybe it's saving a small amount of money. Maybe you've been trying to save up for this big goal and just never been disciplined. Maybe winning for you this month just looks like being able to put $20 away towards that goal. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains you. That for me was one of the hard things. I find it difficult to say no to people when I know how much they need me to say yes. Especially if it's something that is so draining for me. And so I end up overextending myself. And then I'm not giving cheerfully, whether it's of my time, whether it's my resources, whatever it is. I'm not doing it cheerfully. And we know what the Bible says about people who don't give cheerfully. We know that God loves a cheerful giver. Maybe winning looks like showing up consistently. You know, for myself personally, and my daughter will laugh and confirm this. There's moments I go, okay, I'm not eating any more carbs. And then by the weekend, I'm like, I need some cake. I just need a little bit of cake. And she'll be laughing at me. And like, because I'm not showing up consistently for myself. It's like a little joke between us. But the truth behind that is that I'm not being consistent. Showing up for myself before I can show up for anybody else. So maybe winning means being disciplined with the goals that I set for myself and showing up for myself that way. So to be fair and to be honest, really, winning doesn't mean you have to conquer the world this week. It just means you just need to take the next small, faithful steps. Number 2, how you can live victoriously. I love this one, is strengthen your inner life. And I think the last few podcasts, I've kind of hopped on this a little bit. So hopefully by now, this is not new news for you. But public strength comes from private discipline. Cannot say that loud enough. Public strength comes from private discipline. Protect your inner world. Your inner world. Pray. Keep a journal if you can. Move your body. That's important. Stay active. Maybe you could even join my Stay Active Challenge. I'm just saying. That's an opportunity right there. But most importantly, limit the voices that diminish you. Voices or things that you hear, that you listen to, that you pay attention to. It could be your own voice, it could be voices of other people, it could be your thoughts that diminish you, that tell you you're not good enough, that tell you you're not enough, that tell you you're small. Limit those voices, because you cannot live victoriously if your inner world is under attack. So you've got to guard it, protect it. Number 3, build sisterhood. Now, this is something I'm working through, and it's becoming very, very apparent for me that I needed it. Because I work from home, I'm always home, always isolated in my office. But now I've started, playing tennis and going out there a little bit more. I started to build a community of friends. Competition isolates. So don't be in competition with those around you. It isolates you, and isolation weakens you. But when you have a community, like this community of friends that I'm building, that strengthens you and fortifies you, right? So I encourage you, find women who challenge you. Find women who pray with you. Find women who tell you the truth. And most importantly, women who celebrate you. Support other women. Recommend other women. Speak well of other women in rooms where they're not in. So don't just be that kind of person who only speaks well of people when they're there, in their presence. Be the kind of person who speaks well of others even in their absence. And find women who would do the same for you. Honestly, we go further together when we are not competitors, because then we are multipliers. Ladies, let's be multipliers. Multiply. We will go further. Number 4. I like this one. Invest in your own economic power. We can talk about a lot of things, but we can never deny the fact that equality is tied to economics, right? And that has been the struggle for the longest time, right? Equality of pay, equality of lifestyle, it's all tied to economics. So you need to strengthen your economic confidence. You need to know money matters very well, right? Learn how to negotiate, when to negotiate, where to negotiate. Learn how to invest. How do you choose what to invest in? How do you choose stocks and bonds? Should you choose stocks and bonds? Learn about all of that. Learn how to build your wealth. Where should you put your money? Where should you put your savings? Should you have savings? Should you pay off debt before you save? Learn all those things. Every small step compounds. So every bit of knowledge you get helps you to get to another level. And when you get there, you get more knowledge, and it compounds and it builds. Really and truly, financial freedom, financial knowledge rather, gives you options. And when you have options, you can create the freedom for yourself. Number 5. It's 5, right? 5. Don't romanticize struggle. We have this tendency of trying to make our struggles worse than the other person when we're in a conversation. Like it's something to be, like it's an achievement. Okay? Oh, you went through, oh my gosh, I went through worse. Oh, you had this surgery. Oh my God, mine was worse. Don't romanticize struggle. And also remember, being strong doesn't mean staying in what breaks you. Being strong does not mean staying in what breaks you. You are allowed to say, "This is not for me." That is not weakness. That's wisdom. Because sometimes victory looks like leaving, looks like changing direction. It looks like admitting that something hurts. Victory sometimes looks like getting help. Remember, strong women also cry. They also get bogged down and upset by something. But you know what? Strong women also pivot. They heal and they pivot. Change direction. That's strength. That's victory. Number 6, about living victoriously. Practical steps. Sorry, I'm very parched today. Give from overflow, not obligation. I'm going to get killed for this one. Don't give out of obligation. This is critical. You are not called to pour out from your own emptiness. If your giving is coming from a place of fear, or a place of guilt, or a place of obligation, I'm going to ask you to pause and think about it before you give. Pause and think about it before you give. Otherwise, you're not giving effectively. Healthy giving flows from alignment. Alignment with God, alignment with your values, alignment with your boundaries. Healthy giving flows from alignment. So check your giving. Is it aligned? Is it sustainable? Is it something you can continually doing cheerfully? Is it wise? Is it wise for you to be giving your time to that thing? Is it wise for you to be spending your time doom scrolling because you're giving it your attention? Give to gain. Because when you give strategically and not sacrificially to the point of your own depletion, that's when you gain impact. When you give strategically. So this International Women's Day, I hope you don't feel pressured to do more. I hope you feel inspired and invited to rise in wholeness, to rise in clarity, to rise in strength, and to rise in a generosity that is rooted in health, not exhaustion. So I implore you, my challenge to you is find ways to give this month. Find ways to give encouragement to somebody. Find ways to give someone an opportunity. Find ways to mentor someone who's up and coming in the ranks, like someone going through something that you've walked through and you can give mentorship to. And of course, by all means, if you have a little extra money, give where you can. Give resources where you can. But most importantly and above everything else, give yourself grace. Refuse to shrink. You were not created to survive quietly, but you were created to build your life boldly. Because when women rise, families rise. When women rise, economies rise. When women rise, communities rise. And generations shift. But it starts here. It starts with you. It starts with your courage to keep going, to consistently show up. It starts with your willingness to heal, to lay down and step away from that thing that hurts you. It starts with your decision to give your time and your talent wisely and to live your life boldly. So to every woman who's listening to me today, if you are rebuilding, I want you to know that you are victorious. If you're rebuilding your life, you're starting afresh after a breakup or a heartache or a loss, you are victorious. If you're learning, whether it's through school or you're just learning yourself or learning life again, you are victorious. If you are healing from pain inflicted on you or pain beyond your control that, is a God-ordained thing, He took a loved one out of your life, someone passed on, you are victorious. If you're trying again, maybe it was a business idea, a business venture that flopped, maybe it was a relationship. If you're trying again, you are victorious. You're not behind. You're not weak. And most importantly, you're not failing. You are becoming. And becoming is powerful. So give generously. Give wisely. Give strategically. And watch how what you sow multiplies, not just for you, but also for those coming behind you, because you gave strategically. So ladies, this is your season to rise. This is your season to build. This is your season to give and to gain. Happy March and happy International Women's Day. Have an awesome day.